just after 4, so we're going to call the meeting up and start with the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, thanks all for coming. We've got 3 sets of minutes here. March 15th, I can participate in.
And then we have the April 5th and 19th of Bruce and I.
Right. So,
15th I can't participate.
can't? Okay, then I make a motion to approve the minutes from March 15th meeting as presented.
And I'll second
All in
that.
favor, say aye. Okay.
Those two and Dave.
Yep, the other
The other
two.
two is, I'll make a motion to approve the minutes for April 5th and the 19th of April.
And I'll second that.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Okay. Payroll in the amount of $184,615.33. Send that back to West Central.
It's just you, and I think
Just
this one
me.
was just you, Bruce.
Okay.
All right, there's that one.
Be back to
All right. You guys got any questions on the
And this one's just you.
question on payroll?
No, I make a motion we approve payroll in the amount of $184,615.33.
And I'll second that.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right. Then we need to acknowledge receipt of the payroll claims accounts payable report, $997,371.66.
I make a motion we acknowledge and receive the payroll claims in the amount of $97,371.66.
And I'll second that.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, the claims pretty sizable this time, $486,716.54.
I'll make a motion we approve claims in the amount of $486,716.54.
And I'll second that.
All in favor, say aye.
There's accounts payable. That's the last one, I
All
think.
right. All right. New business. Steve Leatherman. Come right on up, Steve.
All right.
Sorry I missed you last time.
That's all right. I hope you enjoyed yourself out west.
I certainly did. I understand what it is you're wanting to do, I think, pretty well. But if you have anything else you want to explain, that'd be just
Okay.
dandy.
Well, he was here a month
Yeah.
ago.
A month ago when I was gone, yes.
You were gone.
Yep.
And basically, we didn't have any problem with what they wanted to do as far as sharing our data.
Yeah.
But we did ask him to make a presentation to the council to make sure that they were
They okay with it?
comfortable with it.
Well,
So
it'll be later.
Oh, it's this one this month. I got you.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's just, make sure I understand right. It's just sharing the information with people who want to access.
Yeah, and it addresses a specific issue, and the issue is a commercial request where they're requesting the data for their own use.
Okay.
And this sets up a procedure. It follows the open records law. It allows the county to charge a uniform fee,
Right.
of which a portion goes to the county, so you actually end
A
up
third is what we get, a
You get a
third?
third.
Okay.
Right, and the most common request is a $750 request for data.
Okay.
The procedure is an application that goes to that party. Our company would send that out.
Okay.
If they want to proceed, they'd sign it, they'd send it back to us, we would send it to the auditor. Every application has to be approved by the commissioner before any
Okay.
data goes out, so.
Have you been doing this with other counties for a
We've
while?
done it with 29 counties for almost 15 years.
Have you had any issues at all?
We really have not.
Okay.
And the kind of groups that ask this kind of information generally are energy companies, are plat book companies,
Okay.
large real estate, commercial farm real estate type companies, a couple of large data companies that basically work with banks and flood insurance and that kind of
Okay.
thing. They can get this information generally on your public WebGIS site, but for them it's more convenient to buy a data set
Gotcha.
that they can put in their software.
The companies that use, like MapQuest and those, do they go through you for that mapping, or they go through GIS for that mapping information?
Generally, the mapping companies have other sources.
Okay.
We will get some requests from some large consulting engineering firms, usually national ones,
Okay.
that don't have a local person, and so they're trying to
Gotcha.
get data.
Okay.
You will not get many of these requests, but by setting the procedure
Sure.
in place,
Got to have it there for them to
then
even want.
we're ready to go.
Nick, you have any questions on it?
No, I read all of
Nick took a
it.
look at it.
I didn't have any issues with
Okay.
it. Yeah, we was pretty comfortable. Once it went to
Okay.
council, we didn't have an issue.
We had one request earlier in the year that kind of triggered this. I think they were asking for like the whole entire county's GIS stuff. And so I pulled the statute and it just requires that we allow access. It doesn't require that we're
We
the one
provide
that provides
access,
it.
yeah. We get that in the courthouse a lot.
They
where
want us to-
come in and want everybody to do it. You know, you have access. You
Right.
can do it, but we're not doing it.
Right, so that kind of triggered that, but this would resolve that issue. They could just contact them and get
Okay.
it at their own cost and.
But it still goes through your permission.
Yes. Right, so we have record of that.
And we get a fee for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
And we can go ahead and approve as long as the council,
just making contingent upon council
yeah,
approval.
is happy with it.
I'll be back for the council meeting.
Okay.
Finding
So do
questions.
you want these signed today?
I'd be happy for you to sign them, but I just keep them and move them on to the council.
Yeah, we can do that as long as it shows in the minutes that it's contingent upon, so regardless then of what we've signed, if the council doesn't approve it, those are void because it's
Yes.
contingent upon their approval. So I make that motion that we approve this contract with WTH and contingent upon the council's approval.
And I'll second that.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Commissioner, thank you.
Yes, sir. Sorry to hold you up by me out playing, but
No problem.
if I had a choice of me playing or you holding up, sorry about that. I was ready.
Now you stayed socially distant out there, right?
Yes, we did, yeah. Miles apart, miles apart. Let's see, let's do this. This is the third day of May. Okay. Third day of May. There you go. Alrighty. All right, we have an ordinance in front of us that we're requested to do by the government for the rescue plan, how we are going to spend that $3 million coming into the county. Part of that multi-trillion-dollar attempt to buy votes. Oops, did I say that? And that ordinance number is 2021-03, creating a new fund for the receipt of funding from the American Rescue Plan. And you've looked at that, I'm guessing, and you're okay with it?
I actually edited it, but yeah, that's been through me.
Okay.
There were some concerns expressed as far as infrastructure use on roads and things like that, but generally it's pretty loose as far as what they're allowing infrastructure-wise. So I didn't amend the ordinance.
Okay.
One of the councilmen had requested it to say roads specifically, but the language that came down from the ARP when they announced it didn't say roads
Right.
specific.
And Congress is not. They're saying infrastructure, and it's growing into everything, not just
Right.
roads and bridges and utilities.
So I didn't feel comfortable putting that in there without them having approved it, but
Right.
my understanding is they're going to use it as a general catch-all
Yes.
infrastructure.
Yes. So my understanding, well, our discussion through the commission has been, through AIC has been, that it will be allowed to use for road
Yeah.
projects if we need to.
So this is just creating the fund.
Right.
Is all this
Yes.
does.
It's a place for it to go.
Infrastructure is
Yeah.
whatever it's determined to be at a later date.
And it's got a fund number there, 8912.
Right.
So we just need a motion to approve ordinance 2021-03, establishing a new fund for the American Rescue Plan. So I will make that motion and we adopt that.
And I'll second that.
All in favor, say aye. Okay. Okay.
I saw the city of Terre Haute is getting $38 million
Is it
for
really?
this or something like that, so.
It's kind of like the rescue plan, the COVID plan they just passed to help all the COVID affected people, and about 3% of us actually go into that, and the 97% is going to everything else in the world. All right. I have a letter here, I received a copy as well, from Farm Bureau. You know, we got a $5 million grant, Park Alliance, Trails Alliance got that. And the concern has always been from farmers, and they're legitimate concerns, so I don't mean to put those down a bit, that their land will be affected by whatever trails may go through. And of course, we've talked about that before. That won't be the case. But they wrote us a letter here that I can go through real quickly. I'll read that to you, to those who might be listening as well. What it says. So this is from the Farm Bureau Incorporated, from their board, and Bob Hale is the president of the board here. And so it says to Parke County Council, Parke County Commissioners, Park Trails Alliance from Parke County Farm Bureau Incorporated Board of Directors, and the reason is county recreational trails. Member farmers and other landowners view recreational trails with mixed emotions as additional funding becomes available to Parke County. That's the $5 million grant we've got. We appreciate the increased interest in possibilities. At the same time, it raises several concerns. So here are their requirements, their requests. At no time should local property taxes be allocated to funding existing or trail expansion, improvements, or maintenance. State laws establishing procedures must be followed on the conversion of farmland for public use. Access must not interfere with the farmer's right to farm. And of course, we would agree with all of those things, I'm confident. 2, laws, rules, regulations must be established and enforced dealing with trash, littering, private property trespass off established trails. Issues also include dumping of either domestic or wild animals. Landowners must be compensated for damages associated with abusive practices of the minority of trail users. We would all agree with that. Private landowners granting public use easement should be granted property tax exemptions. Restricted use of privately owned property by law or regulation should be justly compensated. So what they're saying is if a private landowner wants to allow access to their property to get to a railroad right away, then they should have tax relief from that. That would be just something discussed probably at the state level rather than just us.
So if they allow that, they're being compensated for the easement anyway through the Trails Alliance?
Yes. Yeah.
So that's already being addressed.
Okay, great.
They're going to be selling their easement.
Okay. Existing easements and trail expansions must take into consideration alternatives which least disrupt natural resources and agribusiness. Trail corridors must be properly marked and maintained. Landowners must be allowed to cross trails with equipment, etc., to gain access to property on both sides of trails. Trails in remote rural areas should have perimeter fencing to prevent trespass or other criminal activities. Landowners must be fully and fairly compensated when trails impact normal farming operations. Trail easements must not be open to utilities for such things as buried cables or fiber optics installation. Rules must strictly limit usage to bicycle and pedestrian traffic. Motorized vehicles and engine usage should be prohibited. Farmers must not be liable for accidents, injuries occurring while crossing or trespassing outside trail boundaries on privately owned land. Trail patron security and safety is of utmost concern. Systems must be in place for ensuring the well-being of trail users. Owners' pets must be leashed at all times. I think those are all things that we would all agree with, and they're all within the intent, I think, of the Trails Alliance and all of those involved with trail production. We appreciate the interest of the council in listening to our concerns and hope our suggestions will be considered, and they have been and will continue to be. And we appreciate the letter from Bob Hale, President of Farm Bureau. Okay, Penn Township, Amendment Township Assistance Policy.
I think it just indicated that they were going to consider Social Security as well as the money from any stimulus to be income for the
Okay.
purpose of calculating their qualifications.
Okay, what we have, it says Penn Township has amended the policy for township assistance as pertains to countable income prepay electric. In researching the growing amount of electric company customers that are prepaid, we need to have clarification added to our policy. The policy will hopefully clarify for applicants for assistance in the countable income also, and these amendments will be provided to applicants for assistance. It's just making sure that if someone comes up with a need, that's a justifiable need. That's the whole purpose of the townships, of what they do, poor relief and other relief. Okay. And that's just for our information. That's nothing we have to prove, do we? I mean, that's not our call, is it?
Yeah, they're just FYIing you
Okay.
on.
I know we are the appeals body from the townships if they're denied poor relief, but I don't think we have anything to do with their policies.
No.
Okay, South Market Street reconstruction.
And I have the rest of the packet if you want to review any of this.
Okay. Do you have any questions on that, Nick, at all? Okay. That's just for our information too, letting you know that they have amended their MOA and the town will execute that thing, the DNR. Traveler's claim. Anything we need to know on that, Nick?
No. I think it's just for our knowledge that a claim was filed.
Okay. And then we have it's not on here, but it's next up that we have. We need, for the clerk's office, we need a resolution for the credit card amendment.
It just removes your prior clerk.
Yes, it puts Henry Harper on as the clerk, and that's all
Right.
it's doing. So we need a motion to approve resolution 2021-04, establishing the new name on the credit card.
I'll make a motion, we approve resolution 2021-04.
And I'll second that.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay.
And then Jim, if you have an endorsement, change in policy from Branson's for you to sign also.
Okay.
I couldn't tell what was the change though, based on what I received. It was adding something.
Having an endorsement of some kind, but
It's adding the endorsement SC 00110300. You don't know what that is?
I'm guessing that was cybersecurity, but I could be wrong. I don't know.
Do you want us to wait until you find out what it is?
I don't necessarily need you to wait to sign it, but before we hand it over, we might ask them what it was.
Okay. So we just need a motion then to accept the endorsement of the policy.
I'll make a motion that we accept the endorsement on the policy from Branson Insurance.
I'll second that.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Hey, Laura, could you just tell me what that is when you talk to them?
Yeah.
Thanks.
Let's, if you don't mind, let's amend that motion to contingent upon attorney's approval.
Attorney approval, okay.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. So if you would add it to the minutes, please, that's contingent upon attorney's approval, otherwise we'll not have it. So I guess that's me signing it
Yeah,
to your
that's on
first name. Okay. All right, I have a couple things I want us to go through.
So you had this.
Oh, yeah. Let's go ahead and do this. This is a report, annual operation report for local roads, streets, and bridges. It just needs our signature, so we just need a motion to accept the report as presented.
Make a motion to accept the report as presented.
All fair, oh, is there a second?
No, go ahead.
I'll second.
Okay, all fair, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. And you'll all need it, so let me get on top of this, we won't get in your way. Okay. And then if you remember Matt Steckley from Core Facilities, that's the person who's doing the mechanical inventories in the jail and at the courthouse.
Yes.
Then he has done some of that work that he was supposed to do. He's got the list here of all this, but the payment, total sum of $21,600
Yeah.
is due, so we just need to approve to pay his invoice.
It's going to be a out-of-cycle check, or is this
Yes.
just going to be on the next?
I don't know. He didn't say how quickly it would need to be.
What do you think, Laura? Have you heard anything from him? Does he want that paid immediately, or does he just want it to put on the next round of claims?
I'm not for sure exactly.
Well, if we
Okay,
approve
can't
it,
say anything. Let's just go ahead and pay.
yeah, I think so too. But if we've approved it now,
Yeah.
it would be paid before we come back anyway. So I'd say, yeah, go ahead and do a check on that.
I'll make a motion that we approve an out-of-cycle check to Core for the mechanical engineering work that he's doing for us.
No, I'll second.
21,000.
No,
Six
second.
hundred.
400, is that right?
21,006.
600, okay.
And I'll second that.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I'm the only signature on that.
That way he can go ahead and get paid.
Yep.
Because he's actually done
He has
a lot of the work
And
before we even signed the contract.
Don had
with
good
him.
things to say about him, and he
Yeah.
and Don got along really well about that. You want a copy of that contract? It's what I just signed.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Actually, I may have his original here if you want. That's the original invoice. Oh, here, Laura, let me give this to you instead.
Got the wrong one.
Let me have that back. The reason I gave this to you, because this also includes, I guess he'll need that though too, so we include that.
That's the 12,000?
But this 21,600, but this is, I think from you, I think, probably a request for a taxpayer ID number and stuff. Is that, he filled that out? Did that come from you maybe, that he filled it out, or he just filled it out anyway?
Probably Form 9, Laura. He probably needs our federal ID number.
Yeah, so I can, yeah, because we'll need this for our office.
That's what I thought you would, yes, you just keep that. Here's an envelope that came with it if you want that too. Okay. I know we go through the park board for weddings and bridges. We have a request for a wedding and bridge, so they need to call Rockville Lake. What I could not recall, did we require a certificate of insurance on that since it's a public building?
I've never dealt with that
No, I don't think
previously.
we did.
You don't think we did? Okay. Okay, I'll let him
No,
I
know.
don't
there's
know
no
what-
smoking, no fires, no,
Yeah.
none of that.
Okay. All right, then I'll let him know that we don't need the certificate of insurance
I don't
because it's for a
think we
wedding.
did.
We've
I don't
never
recall making
done it
individuals
since
go
I've
get
been
one.
here.
Okay. All right, that's good then. Credit card resolution, we got that. Core invoice, we got that. The talk continues. I was asked by the council last time, we talked about it some, about is there some point that we want to open the doors back up on the courthouse, all four of them, or do we want to keep it security as it is? Just think about it. We don't have to decide tonight. There's no rush. We're going to have to decide it at some time. We're almost to the point where the code will be released. They haven't taken that off yet, but they're getting close. We'll have to make that choice.
I can tell you every other courthouse in this area uses one door.
And
Vermillion
that's-
County, Fountain County, Vigo County.
That's what I would prefer, and I think the judge would prefer that too as well, so.
I mean, I don't care either way, but the other courthouses are staying with
Okay.
one door.
And you would be all of them, so you would know that, yeah,
Yeah.
okay, okay.
And some of them did it pre-COVID even, actually.
Yeah.
Vigo was pre-COVID.
Do any of the others have metal detectors? Vigo have a,
Vigo does, Fountain doesn't, Warren doesn't, Putnam does not.
okay,
I don't think Clay does either.
okay. Yeah, I don't think we need one either, but, okay, that was good to know.
Vermillion has one of those things you walk through, it tells your body temperature.
Yeah, we looked at that with the COVID money, we decided we didn't probably need that. There's so many extenuating circumstances with that temperature coming through, how long you've been outside, and what your normal body temperature is.
Probably had a very temporary use
It was.
for it too.
It was.
But
Okay.
Hopefully we're not.
I think that's all I've got. You guys got any new business?
Nope.
Or any old business? What do you got?
I had an old business thing. We had a disgruntled employee from the park that had
Yes.
sent us a letter or whatever. I reached out to the attorney. He just asked that I verify the employee's file or whatever and see. They wanted to know what negative things were in
Okay.
it, potentially.
Well, basically, make sure I'm right on this, because I spoke to him as well, and to her as well.
Yeah.
There's someone who worked for them last year.
Yeah.
Got a good review from them, but the decision was made not to rehire. Does he have any obligation to rehire?
No, it's an employment at will state in Indiana.
I'm sure it was.
As far as a best practice, if you know you're not going to rehire the person, maybe
Let him know.
let them know,
Okay.
you know, or don't give a glowing reference
Yeah,
letter.
he gave a good reference. He just
But
had some
from
issues.
what I understand, it was more of he was hoping to help her out, kind of be nice, you know,
That's what
big
he
heart
said, yeah.
kind of situation. And
So
so
had a good
that,
evaluation.
I think we have it settled if I just provide a copy of
Great.
the employee
Okay.
file to
Okay.
them. But I told them we were meeting tonight, and then I'd ask you guys if that's okay to provide an employee file to them.
My hope would be that it wouldn't reflect negatively on her in any way. Didn't intend to be that. It's just that he chose to go a different path with a different
Right,
employee.
and she had, you know, other process. They had offered a board meeting and things like that, and she didn't attend.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
but I think if we just provide the employee file, that from what I understand, this is not
Okay.
something that's going to go anywhere.
Pursue it on. Okay.
The other thing, didn't that mention something about possibly like an age discrimination
Right.
or whatever?
And so
Did
when I
the
talked to the
have
attorney,
anything to
no.
say on that?
there's no evidence of that.
Okay.
It was just a puffery.
Yeah. I think he has employees older than that person is. Anyway.
We do that sometimes as attorneys, you know.
No,
kind of
really?
puff up, like a big blowfish.
I got my big basket here. Which one do you want to pull out, right, guys? We're gonna go to one of them.
If we give the personnel file over, I think
Okay.
that probably ends this, which they're entitled to their.
Why don't we make a motion to do that, just so it's on our record that we're aware of this? So I'd make the motion that we authorize the attorney to release the personnel's file to the attorney for the person who's in conflict.
And I'll second that.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, you're free to go. All righty. Anything else?
That's all I have.
You guys got any old business? Okay. Mr. Sheriff.
Got a few things, I'll be quick. 67 in jail today. Normally been a little bit higher than that, but
Before you go on, let me interrupt you right back before I forget. Jerry Hawkins called me. Jerry Hawkins works for an engineering company in Indianapolis that does maintenance on jails. There's several of them. I told him I thought that was all taken care of. He said, I know that Matt's coming out with Core. Do you have any need for Jerry Hawkins for them to come out and do any kind of an audit for you or do any kind of another possible energy savings kind of things that we've been down the road before?
not that I can think of.
Do you want to talk to him? You want me to just tell him that I talked to you and that you weren't really interested, or do you want to call him and talk to him?
If he give me his number, we can call him, just see if there's something that,
Let me see if I got it real quick. I hate to interrupt you, but if I knew if I didn't mention it then, it would go away, and I'd think of it when I got
It
home.
wouldn't come back.
is there something I'm not thinking of that maybe he has? So.
No, I told him most of our issues that come up are mechanical, and that's what they kind of do, mechanical stuff, but I think they do a little bit of lighting and everything else. I think it's kind of all the way around. Let me see if I've got it here. If not, I will find it, because I sent him a message the other day.
Is this the Jerry?
Yeah,
Used to be the
superintendent.
sheriff over at
No, superintendent. That was different Hawkins. That was
Kim.
Under a Hawkins.
Cam Hawkins. Yeah,
Okay.
that was Cam. Okay, I don't have him there. Let me see if I got it here. Because I know I called him. And if not, then I'll just have to get that to you. You know, I get people calling so many, and I think I have them already, so then I don't put it down as their name, and I got numbers, and I don't know who that is.
Yeah, that's what I
Give me just a second. I'm getting there. I think maybe it was on voicemail. Let me check that. Let me check mine real quick, see if it's in.
This is Aaron with Dish.
No, wrong guy. I'll find it for you.
All right.
Remind me and I'll find it for you.
Okay, I made notes.
Okay.
We've collected 7365.46 for our normal collections for the year so far. And almost 60 grand is what we billed the DOC so
Great.
far for the year, so.
Are they pretty quick on turnaround anymore on payment?
Yeah, I don't know, a couple of years ago, they changed it to where they pay like a yearly thing.
Okay, oh, that's
So
right, I
think
do
in
remember that,
July,
yes.
I think, is
I do
when they
remember
make their payments.
Okay,
And we're still going off what they paid us like a year ago or
Okay.
2 years ago, so. I think they'll evaluate what we bring in this year and then probably refigure their numbers. So.
okay.
Our biggest issue now is the parking lot out at the jail. It's had some issues for quite a while. I think 6 years ago, we had somebody come in and work on a little bit of it. And now the other part needs worked on, so.
You think you have most of that money in your,
Yeah, the commissary fund's pretty healthy, so.
okay,
But we've got one estimate. We called a couple other people that are supposed to come out, but
okay,
I'm guessing we're gonna look at between 25 and 30 grand probably.
okay. And you've got,
Is the asphalt coming up, or?
Yeah, there's some low spots, there's some, we're gonna have to do
Some
some
waters.
grinding and, yeah, so some new pavement, sealing, painting.
you don't need anything from us for you to spend your commissary funds, do we?
No,
We don't approve
no.
that? Okay,
No, it's just more kind of heads up, I guess, since it's a maintenance
Okay.
thing, but
okay,
yeah, there's not really enough in the budget anywhere to fund all that, so
Right.
it'll either all be commissary or majority of it will probably
Okay.
be commissary, so
okay.
we should be okay. That's all I have.
Well, that was easy. Find your mushrooms?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it's starting to get really good now. So.
Is it really?
Is that right?
Really?
Somebody told me yesterday they thought it was over with, so.
I'm finding a lot of small ones, so.
You find too many, you know where I live. Just, feel free to drop them off, it's all right.
Small and big, so yeah, I think it's probably gonna be good
Okay.
this week, so.
Thanks, sir.
Yep, thank you.
Thanks, Justin.
Randy.
How you doing this evening?
Doing good.
Good.
Let's get a couple things out of the way for you real quick here before you get on with your stuff too. He was contacted by the people who provide the fuel, and they'd like to put a tank on our property, and their concern was just making, and Randy's okay with them putting an extra tank there. They'd have more fuel, it's easier access for everybody. Their only concern, they will make sure that we understand and we have an agreement in place with them, that if they should lose the bid next time, that's still their tank. Just because they put it there and left it there, it's still their tank, and we just can't keep it. Are you guys okay with them putting a tank out there?
Pretty standard.
Is that the same guy that
Same
keeps
guy we had trouble
tendering
with.
this contract? So now he's willing to do it without a contract?
No, I thought you was going to contact me, if you had something else you wanted to move.
Yeah, I
You
mean,
want us to be responsible for pump and
Everything,
any leaks,
yeah.
100% everything.
same issue I previously had issue with. They just reworded it in a different way to make it still be our problem.
I'm not,
I guess if they
I'm
want
not
to do
interested.
business with us, they're gonna have to,
Right, so I mean, if they're wanting to put it on there without a contract, that's something, but I assume they're wanting a contract, and if so, I guess he just needs to call me and we can talk about
Okay.
what I don't like in it. But
can you let him,
Better I just forget about it.
whatever you want to do?
It's just benefiting them.
Yeah, it is.
They put stuff in there that hurt us. Well,
And I'm okay with an agreement, just simply says that if we ever cease to do business, it's your tank and you have 30 days to remove it.
Right, and that's fine.
And that's all we need.
I don't have any issue with that, then
No,
it's
I don't
whoever's
All these
liable
other
is
things are
liable.
saying that if it was a leak, it's our fault, the pump failed, that's our problem, or yada, yada, yada.
Right,
No,
and-
really, it's theirs.
And he came and met with me in person, we discussed that, and he said he'd just take that section out, but they didn't, they used a different contract with different language.
Those lawyers, you gotta watch them, they do stuff like that. That's where you get the big bucks, I know. Okay, so,
I'd be happy to talk to him, but as it stands, their contract's still that issue.
if he sets it there without a contract, what's our liability?
It's a negligence standard, if we're negligent versus if they're negligent.
Okay.
So.
Are you okay with that, just letting him put it there?
Upkeep of the tank is their requirement,
Okay.
and they keep trying to pass that to us,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
the equipment and stuff like that, usage of it, if we're negligent, we're liable, but we shouldn't have any burden on the infrastructure of the tank or
Right,
its warranties,
right.
which is what I keep having issue with.
What happens if the pump breaks, that kind of thing?
It's theirs.
It's
They
their
own the
I would
pump
think so, always was with the
Right.
Farm Bureau and stuff, it's always their pump.
Right, so they just keep trying, they're not gonna wanna do that without a contract, so that's
Okay.
kinda the
Okay.
new point. They won't wanna.
And I have no problem doing it, just have Randy, have him call you again, or you call him and
Right.
say, we have no problem with this.
If you want to do it this way, fine, but
Right,
not, that's
it's
okay,
just, I don't wanna have this language in there passing the
Sure.
But
warranty of the equipment onto the county.
have they ever failed you, even with a single tank, have they ever run out? Have you ever run out of fuel, they didn't have any?
Yeah, we've had to call them.
Have you?
Make a trip out.
Okay. Would it be to your benefit to have 2 tanks there?
Well, as long as they keep coming when we call them.
Okay. I think just leave it up to you. If you want to have them put it there, have them call Nick and get a contract
One
worked
time,
out.
a serious solution, I had to get the credit card and take all the trucks up to the station and fill them up.
Really?
Their truck was down.
Hmm.
Couldn't get us any fuel.
Like, I mean, their paragraph 10 says, an event becomes necessary for a supplier to employ the services of an attorney to enforce any aspect of this agreement. Whether or not suit is filed, customer agrees to pay supplier reasonable attorney fees and costs. Why, I mean,
Yeah.
generally the standard is winner takes all. Whoever wins a court pays attorney
Yeah.
fees. Otherwise, but they're wanting us to agree to pay attorney fees
Yeah.
when we have no say in whether to
That's
hire an
funny.
attorney.
That's funny. Yeah, I don't think that's something we need to go down. Okay, I'll shut up now, Randy.
Okay.
You know it's a lie, but I'll say that.
Well, the first thing is the reasoning behind why we didn't apply in January for the community crossings grant.
Mhm.
I made copies, but it didn't, it was white, it didn't.
Well, I got a copy here. See, this is the same one. We could have applied for it.
But we've already got almost $1 million.
Yeah, but the question here was if a local government was awarded funds in 16, 17, 18, and 19, and has not closed out those projects, will they be eligible to submit project applications for 2021 call? And the answer is no. December 31st, 2020 was the deadline to close out everything 19 and before. But you could have open projects from 2020 and still go ahead and apply for one. So we could have applied for one. I asked Cindy if she would look that up too, and she did. But we know going forward now we can't, because I knew they changed that. They changed it to where you could have open contracts still.
in January.
And still, yes,
Is there a limit
and
on
still
how many
apply.
times
But-
you can
So-
open?
You can only get $1 million in 1 year. And we're planning on
Okay,
asking for it again in July.
in July,
In the second call.
okay. It was granted in,
We got it in December,
yes, I thought it was last year. We
but
got it.
still, we're planning on doing it again. We don't have the money to do it right now. I mean,
Do
to
what?
do another project,
You don't have the money
As
to
far
match.
as the match.
Or
to match, for our match.
Well, the council's pretty much given us the assurance, just so you know, I know the council's given us the assurance that if we were to get that grant, they'd find the money for the matching part. The trouble with waiting until the second round instead of doing the first round and passing up the first round is, if we
You got a
don't,
second chance for
if
it.
we don't get in the first round, you got a second
Yes, I
chance.
understand that.
Where now if we just wait till July and go one shot, we only got one shot instead of having 2 shots at it. So, plus had we applied the first round and get denied, I think it enhanced our chances of getting it the second time if you've already been denied once for it. So, I certainly wasn't upset with anybody. I was surprised that we had them. So if you would, just make sure we go for all of them when we can.
I'll
And-
talk to council first and get their approval.
Okay, because I know that they pretty much gave us that okay before. If we get it, fine. If we don't get it, then they're not out anything.
Yeah,
If
I
they did
don't know
get
if they
it.
could do that twice in 1 year or not, you know.
Yeah, I think, yeah, you want that copy? Does Jenny have a copy of it? Because that's where it shows that could, as long as 19 and before were closed out, we were okay. And that may be the same thing you have here, that's pretty faint to read. And if you could communicate, because Cindy doesn't always get all those notifications of when those rounds are, so I asked Amy today too, if she would just make sure when she gets notification of when the deadlines are and when they need to be, if she would just,
You get that and print it off again.
okay,
Okay.
all right.
I mean, I would rather look at it, I'd rather apply for every
Every time.
single chance.
Without fail.
But then tell us no.
Yeah.
Yes.
Than us not apply and the people think we are
Negligent. Yes. Vermillion
We're
County
not.
posted, Tim posted that they got 900 something, like we did last time, but they got it this year.
Yeah, and again, that's
And
something.
I'm going through the list, and
this
they
is-
want, people want to know, why didn't we apply for that?
Yeah,
you know?
and again, I don't want this in any way to be negative on you.
No,
Randy,
not
and
at
any
all.
of this is
No.
not, it's just that when the answer comes from the state, no, then we can tell the people we
We
were
applied.
denied, or we didn't get it.
Yep.
But when we don't apply, now we have to explain,
Why we
well,
didn't apply.
we didn't apply because we wouldn't have got it because we've already got the $1 million.
Right.
But people can't understand that.
No.
But they can understand the fact that you're denied the application.
Yeah.
So I would
And
apply.
and I do think that enhances his chance
Yeah.
the second time, because you can do the same
I-
submission,
yeah,
so.
So I would apply every
Great.
single time I would ask for money.
Okay.
And let them tell us no.
Okay. What else you got?
Now, I just always try to live within my budget.
Yeah, no, I
I
understand.
understand.
Don't get me wrong. I said it's not a reflection of you at all, but
But I think if the council was,
when all of a sudden in the paper, it's plastered all over the paper that Vermain got this, Vigo got this, and Parke County's not listed, all of a sudden,
And the only
people
reason-
start to say, well, how come we didn't get any money? How come we're not? You know, now it's like,
it's one thing to say because we were denied, it's another thing to say, well,
Yeah.
we didn't
we
apply.
didn't apply.
Yeah, well, why didn't you? What's
Yeah.
wrong with you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah. And so that's, again, it's not a negative reflection on you at
No,
all, Randy,
not at
and
all.
I
And
understand.
there was a question whether we could or not, so that's why I brought that up.
Yeah, I
Settle that,
understand
we
the
can,
council's
we
got
can
to
apply
come
for
up with
those.
the money, and
I pretty much
that
guarantee it.
match is hard to come up with sometimes. I get that, don't get me wrong, but
But I think if they were dangling $1 million at them, I think they would find it somewhere.
I bet
They
they
might
could
get
find
that,
it.
get that grant somewhere, yeah. Okay, what else you got?
The graders, number 50, the northwest grader.
Is that the one up on 1050?
Yeah, that's Tangier area.
Yes.
Bloomingdale.
Yeah, I saw it sitting there today, yeah.
Yeah. It's got 2,582 and a half hours on it. 51, which is the northeast district, has got 2683 and 3/4 on it.
How many would be allowed?
3,000.
I thought there were 3, yep.
so we were getting close on one
Yeah.
last week, or last meeting.
And 52, southwest quarter is 2234 and a half. 53, the southeast corner, 2977.45.
Okay,
And this will be parked now.
yeah. Until when? When does that kick in new?
July.
July, okay.
And that's $67 an hour for every hour.
Beyond that,
over.
okay,
So that could add up to a lot of money.
Yeah.
Quick.
yep. The new price is about 50% above what it was last year, right? It was 24, now it's like 39?
Yes, you're correct.
How is that even possible? How can they justify that increase?
I don't know,
Everything's going up.
But 50%, that's a bunch.
culverts went up considerably.
Did you see the Montezuma letter on the petroleum yet?
Hmm. Jeez.
Your paving, contract paving, Cold Bluff is done.
Good.
Vito Road's done.
Video looks good.
I don't think they got started on 460 today. I think
Okay.
that's where they're going to next,
Okay.
then Deer Run.
Okay. I was at Bridgeton and Lodi today, looking at those, and I know they've been waiting a while. I know we did Lyford
2 years ago.
2 years ago, yeah.
3, I think. 3.
Is
Has
it?
it been 3?
I would really like to see included on our, I know you need to look at those yet, and Dan had mentioned he'd like to go with you to look at make choices too, but I didn't measure exactly, but and you would know better than I would, on Bridgeton, it's just over 2 miles, I think, in town, and at Lodi, it's about a mile.
I think it is.
Yeah.
Just low.
So I would like to see Bridgeton, and that'd be my recommendation, you guys, that Bridgeton roads, because they're a mess. I mean, that
Oh, it's
Webster is
It-
just a mess.
It's like a gravel road.
It
Dust
is.
just flies when you go
It
down.
is.
And all the gravel that's come out of the hole, when you come up that T road, there's a big
Yeah.
mound there, 1.5 to 2 foot tall.
Most of the ones I measured today were about 15 feet wide, but I bet they were 20. It's just it's encroached over the years because it's been like that for so long.
I think they were 18.
18, okay.
Most of them were.
So I would, if it's time for a motion to put this on, I would make the motion, just because I've been there, that we ask Randy to include on our request for our grant the town of Bridgeton and the town of Lodi to get those streets.
And I'll second that.
You okay with that?
I'd already thought about that.
See, you're way ahead of me. So let's just make it easy on you. We'll just go ahead and make a motion on that, and we did. So all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
So there you go.
Still need you guys to go with me.
I know. And we need about 7 more miles, I'm guessing. So we get about 10 miles out of a normal if we get all of what we asked for. I was asked today, because I was up looking at roads, about BDL from Sylvania on north up to the end of the county line. Is that on your list looking at too?
It's one of them, and I've got more down south.
Okay.
I wouldn't mind continue around with Cold Bluff
Okay.
on Lena Road, 1100,
Okay.
Benzant,
Yeah.
900 south,
Yeah.
back up 59.
We've had that road.
900 is it's
The
one-
1,000.
Oh, thousands north
1,000,
of
whatever. We've had 3 people here last 2 meetings,
Yeah.
last month on that road out by
750.
Rocky Fork.
Rocky Fork.
He-
Yeah.
1,000,
900,
down
Ball and Rocky.
900 and all that.
Okay. Tough calls.
Rocky Fork, yeah, 1,000.
You got all that money and you only get about 10 miles of road paved. So what 10 miles out of 700 do you want to do?
Also, 350 north,
Yeah, so,
and 900 east, and we'll add to 100, and 875 east, over north to Hollenberg.
On our
Those are all
5-year asset plan, I know that would help also with the budgets, I mean with the grants that you do, when you submit those grants. And I know we have have to have by the state a 5-year asset plan, which I know it changes. Maybe when we do these, we can prioritize out for 2 or 3 years out. I know it can change because the road can completely fall apart and we have to go there. I mean, I know it's not etched in stone, but maybe we should plan 2 or 3 years
One
out.
thing we have to have on file up there is the mileage we're going to do
Okay,
Yes.
for the 5 years.
right. So when you want to go look, you want to wait till spring's over and they get patched? What do you want to do?
No, we ought to go before now,
You
because
tell-
in May,
You tell me when.
we'll be calling for it in July.
You got room in the back seat for me, don't you? If Dan's in there too and he gets to go in the front seat. Okay.
Yeah, got room for all 3 of them.
There you go. What day you
I don't
want?
care if you guys pick a day, I don't, any day but Thursday.
That was gonna be my pick, Thursday. Okay, I lied.
As long as it's afternoon, I can probably make it.
I lied. Hang on a minute. I am gone the week of May 17.
You just got back.
I know, I tend to go again. You thinking next week?
Yeah, I just do it before that.
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, the 12th, 13th, the 14th, I'm okay. Any of those days right now. Seems like there's something the 14th. Let's make it the 12th or 13th. That's Wednesday or Thursday. So you don't want to do Thursday, you want to shoot for
I
Wednesday,
just meant
13th?
this Thursday. I
Oh,
thought you were
this
talking about
Thursday?
going this week.
Or Monday, the 10th is fine with me too. How long a time period do you think we need?
Well, you probably need most of the day.
We took most of the day last time, yep. You good on Monday the 10th?
Yeah, I'm good on Monday.
Can we shoot for Monday the 10th and something better comes up for me to do, I'll call and cancel, change that?
I don't know my calendar, I'll have to look. But
Okay.
go ahead and put it down for the 10th.
Okay. Leave garage what time? 9 o'clock, get you enough time to get started? You want to leave at 8 o'clock?
We could probably leave it at 8 if you want.
That works for
Eight's
me.
good.
Sooner the better. Okay. You buying lunch then somewhere?
Yeah, I could.
Okay, that works for me. We just passed a resolution.
Go to somewhere cheap.
Mecca's good, not cheap, but there, Mecca's good. Are you open at noon?
Too, yeah.
Are you open at noon?
Yeah.
Well, there you go, we go to Mecca.
Can you have gizzards and livers? It's Monday.
We're not doing it anymore.
Okay.
Is your outdoor section open? Yeah, I don't.
Okay, so Monday the 10th, we will meet at
It has to be solid.
8 o'clock.
Solid Food.
8 o'clock.
No drinking.
Yeah, sure, put limits on me now. See how they are. What if I bring a blender and blend it all together? Would that work all right? Yeah. So on the 10th, 8 a.m. at the garage. All right, and we'll go pick the rest of the work we're going to spend our money. And maybe when we do that, because we looked when we went last time, and it's just tough. I mean, there are some that
Oh, it is. It's-
some so bad,
Yeah,
and they all just need to be done.
They know. Yeah.
But we're going to need to prioritize, so maybe we can prioritize a couple years worth. So when people ask, where are we on the list, we can say, well, you know, right now you're a couple years out. Right now it's, I don't know. And I'd rather have a date, even if you kind of change it, than I don't know.
Have you started any of your parts?
No, just a prep. Pipes put in on Deer Run and over to Jeffers Ford now, doing the ditch.
Somebody commented they had a ride, church had a motorcycle ride, there's several of them, like about 30 of them, went up Henley Road, I guess it is.
It's busted up.
And it's busted up there, yeah, pretty good.
I
On,
was gonna chip and seal that one this year, but I changed that, and we're just I'm gonna make extra material, wedge it.
okay. And on the Narrows Road, there was you love the road, it's great shape, but you said there was a pipe with a pretty big dip in it. You know where that is? Is that on that road? Is that what he was talking about?
Yeah, right south of 1200.
Okay, is it?
We've got the wedge back now.
Okay. And when I was driving today, I noticed we have those a lot of places. I know why it is. I mean, I know you put it in, you do the best you can, but it settles after a while.
Well, I had some money left over last year, and I bought a compactor and a saw.
Oh,
I'm
good.
sawing all the culverts now before we put them in, and have a
Great.
compactor to compact them.
Great.
I bought a compactor for the asphalt too, so.
Great. Okay. I just want you to know about that. I know you'll fix it sometime, but it's tough being on a nice road. The only complaint I've had, well, I've had 3 complaints about Beedale Road. One of them has said it was long overdue. No thanks, no, it's okay, it's just long overdue. Another one said, well, would have been nice if it was done a couple years ago. Yes, it would have been, I understand. So,
Look at it this way, it's gonna last a couple years longer.
you just can't please them. And then the other was, well, yeah, but now people are driving too fast. I understand.
Yeah.
Can't have it always, folks, sorry. I just know someday somebody's going to call and say, boy, those guys did a great job, thanks. And just hang up. No, instead of, but they should have done it 2 years ago, you know, kind of
I
thing.
got
So,
one of those today.
did you?
Good job on that road.
Oh, good, good. It's good to know. Okay, what else you got?
I hope to be done with the patching by the end of this month. We've got a lot of them patched, but we've got quite a few more to go.
I stopped in and talked to Janie. I left Strawberry Road between Coloma and, is that 600 over there, 66? What is that over by where it runs into 36? Goes past Panhandle. 600 is what I thought. It's pretty rough between
That's where they had that runaround while they was working on 36.
Yeah.
and
Coloma's.
longer
It's pretty
trucks,
beaten up,
50 up a day.
especially there by the bridge that we put in. It's really beaten up there too. Have you looked at Melcher Bridge since that group painted it? Gail and I bought the paint to the stain. It's a gray, close to a match. It's a little lighter. I suppose it could be a little bit darker, but if you drive through Melcher, see what you think about that. And you guys too, if you drive through Melcher Bridge, they just painted over the graffiti. They did a good job. That was, what's that group called through Rotary that works in the high schools?
Yeah, what you said was part of the school.
Yeah, it's not outreach, it's something else.
Impact.
Impact, yes, that's it. They did a great job on it, and she was wondering about maybe they would get different stain, make it a little darker. And I said, you just need to bring that to us because you don't want people calling you complaining about the color you use. Let them call us. So if you got something darker in mind, just call us and bring it into. So if you go through there, look at it, see what you think. I thought it looked okay. Kind of blended in. I mean, it's not wood; it's solid stain, so it's not transparent. But you can't make it transparent to see the stain because then you can't cover the graffiti it's got covered. So you can't have it both ways. But I thought it looked pretty good. But look and see what you think. If you like a little darker, we can do that. I use the brown. That's in fact we approved brown before when I was doing them, especially out at the West Union Bridge because there was so much stuff in it covered. But that might make it too dark. We might want to make it lighter. We just need to decide on one and go with
Lighter
that.
you go, the more it's going to take.
Yeah, and there are more groups willing to adopt some of those places, some of the bridges. Did we ever get a chance to get Smith Bridge roof done? Because the CVC was
No.
going to pay for that.
No, I didn't know that till just a week or so ago. The black shine.
Oh, yeah, I came in, we talked about that. I said we had the money for that. We needed it done. I thought you were going to do that last year. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we did. There is, so we'll do that. We try to do at least one bridge a year with the tourism money that we use to improve the assets we have. So,
See if I can get a hold of them owners,
okay,
see if they can get
okay. And Neat Bridge, the front of it needs painted like most of them do, but who does the
Parke
painting?
County.
Okay,
He'll be back around for long.
okay, good, okay,
He's in Tennessee, I think.
okay.
I don't know if he's back up here yet or not. He generally calls me when he gets back up here.
I had a call, reason I was up, I came in the day, got a call from a lady, we all did in fact, about the Durberm. She's had 4 or 5 flat tires because the Durberm cut the tires. I said, well, unless they change production, I don't know that that's likely to happen. I know we'll scuff them up because it's hard, but so does the gravel. I had a flat tire from White Rock in my driveway because sometimes you catch it on the edge and White Rock's going to go through a tire too. It just happens. But I said, but if you've had 4 or 5, so I went up there And I got some samples I picked up, I put them in my truck, but it's nothing out of the ordinary. It's just some rocks with sharp edges, like all, if it's not that round gravel from Mecca, from Montezuma, it's going to be that way. But I said I'd go look at that and see, so I think they live on 175, so I think they go north of 175 and get on 200 and come around to get to 1050 and then go over to Jackson Bridge and go down that way. So anyway, she was going to check with her husband because she was afraid maybe it really wasn't 4 or 5 tires, maybe it was something else. But I said, doesn't matter. So one's too many if it's because the fault of the Duraburn. But I said, but I don't think it will be, because I said you're the only ones I've had a call on, and I stopped and talked to Newman, the farmer. What's his first name? Harold. Talked to Harold. He was coming down the road, and I stopped him, and there's a Duraburn and White Rock right there all along. I said, you driving this? You're on the road all the time. Have you had any flat tires? Or know if anybody's had any flat tires? He said, no, not one. But he was impressed with the White Rock that you guys put down for him that he bought. He said there was not a pothole in that all year. So there's something else to think about. So, but I know White Rock doesn't last as long as the Duraburn is going to last. It's going to.
A lot more expensive.
And it's a lot more expensive, and it's going to go to dust in about 4 years, especially with the heavy truck traffic on. So Clay County used to use all, but they've kind of gotten away from that too. Fountain County, I saw when I was up there, is using Duraburn now. So a lot of counties are. So okay.
It's not the best thing, really.
Well, it really is. As long as that's not the issue with the rocks, and it's not. I mean, I even ran a magnet across it. I got a magnet on wheels, and I ran that about a quarter mile down the back, and it picked up a few little pieces of rock, but it was just round rock stuff. It wasn't like nails or spikes or hunks of metal that's going to go with the tire or anything. So I said, I don't doubt you, because you're obviously not making this up. I'm not saying that, but that must really be an isolated instance for you. And she said, well, they're not the best tires. I mean, they're not the best tires, but they're not the worst. She said they're not bald. I said, well, if they got any tread at all, those rocks aren't big enough to go beyond the tread to get into the tire, unless you catch one on the edge, which can happen, but it's pretty rare. To have 4 or 5, that was a bunch. So she was going to check and see if that was really
I
accurate.
want them all the time.
Well, that's what I told her. She was real nice about it. She was real nice on the call, and she wanted to make sure that she wasn't trying to tell anybody or complain about anything. She just wanted to know what the situation. I said, well, call anytime about anything. That's why we're here. So don't be shy about calling. I expect getting phone calls.
Dump truck will have a flat tire, but it may have a mold in it, but I don't know if that comes from the Duraburn.
Yeah, and you don't know.
It's already on the road.
Yeah.
A lot of times you grade a road and you pull stuff up
Yeah.
that people's lost out of vehicles.
Yep.
You don't know where
Yeah.
it's at or it
I
came
was
from.
on the roadside there at home last week, and I didn't see it. There's a pin about that big around, about that long. Caught my blade in the mower.
Yeah.
Had to go buy a new blade.
Strangest tire thing, I got time to tell stories. I was on the way to work when I was working in Cates when I first got off the road, came home, and I was driving this little Subaru, and I just bang, bang, bang. I had run over a pair of channel locks, and the channel locks had gone through the tire. Now, how do you get channel locks? That handle would turn up to go through a tire, and now it's just banging on the bottom of the car goes around. It's just weird. It happens. But 4 or 5, that'd be excess. But she was going to check and see if that
Did
number
you
is
keep the
accurate or not.
channel locks?
No, I should. It's magic. It's magic channel lock. All right.
And June the 14th and 15th, we're going to have grader training.
Oh, good. Good. Through LTAP?
Yeah.
Good. She called the other day and asked about that, too, so good.
There's a release thing
Got a
there.
Good.
disclaimer there. If Nick's all right with it, he's going to sign that.
Just disclaiming any liability that adds
Right.
to their training
Okay.
if there were to be an accident by somebody trained by them.
Okay. Now, is it LTAP putting this on?
Yeah,
Okay. Good.
that's who we contacted.
Good. Good. Well, I'm glad you did. We had talked about that for several times.
Guy that's doing it, those from like Jackson,
Yeah, Jackson.
heavy duty
Yeah.
equipment or something like that, the trainer.
Good. I will see her. We got a meeting Thursday, so I'll see her and tell her that you've, I mean, she already knows you're doing it, but I'll tell her I appreciate her setting it up.
We're going to have her in classroom here about a half a day.
Okay.
Here,
Super.
then we'll go out on the road, I'll get a road probably.
All right. How many are you training?
Oh, there'll be 5 of us.
5 of you,
4
okay.
and me.
Okay.
I want to see what.
Can they teach you old dogs new tricks?
Well, I don't know, but we've got one training video at the barn. I don't agree with this.
Well, there you go. Yeah. Okay. Then I'll make a motion that we adopt this liability waiver and disclaimer with Jackson's Heavy Equipment for the grader training.
And I'll second that.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay.
That's all I have.
Well, I appreciate you getting that training going. I think that's just going to be the benefit of us, and it's another one of those things when I hear people complain about that. Only one particular person in mind about those grader operators don't know what they're doing. The best thing to do is take the keys away from them, just make them park them, yada, yada, yada. So this will be good. I can say, well, you know, we have training, so there we are.
Got one new one, he's getting better,
Good.
but he could use more training.
Who needs this?
I do.
You do, okay.
I'm gonna email that back.
Okay.
And then Randy, can I get a copy of it just for the commissioner side?
That's. Tell her tomorrow.
That'd be fine.
I know she's got to bring some dust control.
That it?
Uh-huh.
It was easy on our part. You got a lot of stuff thrown at you today, but
I'm used to that.
you, of the, I mean, the ones we looked at last year on those roads, if we went down and looked at Cold Bluff, I mean, it was just awful. Do we have any in that awful shape that we need to go? Are there
Yeah.
more than we have,
Anything?
more than our 7 miles worth it's going to cover?
Of course, up north of Sylvania,
Okay.
425 west,
When we were doing paving,
southbound off Tangier Road.
when we were doing paving, I know you were doing it, and it wasn't because of the cost, because you could save a lot of money by doing it, but it just took up all the whole crew to do that. What were we paying for paving? What did it cost us to pave? Wasn't it about half what we were paying, about 40,000 or
A
so?
little bit less than half.
Okay, so about 40,000 for a mile, yeah.
And of course, that's all gonna go up with,
Oh, yeah.
Oil.
So what was that about petroleum, about Montezuma, what was that?
It's natural gas actually is like some astronomical percentage increase in the cost of natural gas.
Really?
Yeah, and they'd sent out a letter indicating that rates were gonna be raised in Montezuma because of it.
And that's been preached to go to natural gas for how many years now to get off all the other stuff, and so now we got you, so now we're gonna jack the price up on you. Jeez,
And there's like a class action lawsuit in regards to it.
it's gonna be a chlorine shortage this year too, so if you got a pool.
Attorney fees are going up. It's hard to find attorneys.
Yeah, it's hard to find good ones, I know it is tough, yeah. So, are you still affiliated with Wallace?
Yep.
Who is that?
Jimmy Wallace was the last Wallace at Wallace Law Firm, but Rich Rennick, John
Oh,
Schomback,
Rich Rennick, yeah, I know that.
Taylor Powell, Ron Siebert's our newest partner there.
Okay,
So there's 5 of us,
okay.
2 offices.
I know Rich from back in the day.
Oh, he's been around forever. He's an institution up in the Kingman area.
His wife, Natalie, or ex-wife, or wife?
Wife.
She was a good one. She was secretary at the fertilizer plant I worked at.
She's involved in the foundation up there in Covington. I'm not sure in what
Oh, good.
capacity.
But she was good.
Did
All right.
you remember the Amish had asked us how much it'd be to oil that 350? Was that what it? They were wanting a calculation on how much per space or something at that BZA.
yeah, but I've got all that for the next
Oh,
meeting.
you do?
Randy's already given me that,
Okay.
so. And speaking of that, I need you to put me down for 800 feet. So if you need a check dropped off, holler and I'll drop the check off or however you want
I'll call you before we do
to.
it.
Okay.
Just
All right.
before.
Are you having any difficulty getting oil for that?
No, so far.
Good.
I don't want oil, I want double chip and see.
All right. Is that all reused oil, used oil that goes in the road, or is that oil designed just for that purpose?
Designed for it.
Okay, how much is it a gallon?
Right now, it's 210 a gallon.
Wow. And if you're doing a road, and I know it's by linear foot, how far will a gallon go?
We shoot, for the dust control, we shoot 0.4 of a gallon per square yard.
Okay. So that's 9 feet wide, 1 foot long then, okay. No, square yard, yeah, 9, yeah, okay. Okay.
And the oil to make the tub mix, or the coal mix with, is 215. Almost 240.
Are we okay with them, with Tom, that oil mess that you've had to deal with for 2 years won't happen
We're
again?
not making that,
You're not making that anymore, okay, good.
no.
Okay. What a mess.
Yeah, well, don't want to go through that again.
No, we do not, okay. Will that come back and haunt us again this year?
Yeah, I don't know. Hope not, but the sun gets out and it's hot.
It's hot.
Last year,
It
but
was a mess. I was out there several times, Randy too. I mean, it just started oozing through the roads, just awful. And you can't blame people not liking it. I mean, spewing it all over their car. You drive down the road, just awful. they'd come out even on weekends and they'd put sand on it again, try to get by it, and they'd come out and they'd put chip on it. And the timing was the guy who was in charge of it was gone.
Roads 4 or 5 times.
Yes.
And I don't know how many times put sand.
Yeah, so I don't even know what that costs, just to cover what was supposed to be saving us money by a better road lasts longer. Yeah, lasts longer, nobody drives on it. All right.
Yeah, I don't wanna try that again.
Okay,
Don't wanna be the experiment. On the receiving end of the experiment.
no kidding.
Yeah, don't like to be the guinea pig.
Okay, we'll see you Monday at 8 o'clock.
Okay,
Okay.
all right, you guys have a good.
Okay, thanks, Randy.
All right, thanks.
Anyone else have anything? Is your wife out on parole now, or what is?
Yep, she is, she's been in trouble, so.
Okay,
Make
I
a
make a
motion, we
motion to
adjourn.
adjourn. Second.
we're done. Thanks, guys. Thanks, everybody.